Hey Gemini, so I decided to do things a little bit differently today. Not sure why, but let's go with it. To start off, I was going to do the Pisces reading, but for whatever reason, for days, weeks, I just can't do it. I don't know why. But, yeah, for you, I decided to, look at a chart of the current planetary transits. You're an air sign. If I start telling you my feelings, it's not going to be as well received as it would be for like a Pisces. I'm not saying that Geminis don't have feelings, you guys do, but I think you might appreciate some facts instead. Yeah, so the current chart's really interesting actually. I haven't actually done this in a reading yet, so I don't know why, because this would be really helpful. Yeah, so there's actually an aspect, there's a T-square, and it looks like it's between, okay, there's two T-squares right next to each other, but either way, so what a T-square is, it's shaped like a triangle, right? And if you have a natal chart, like an astrological chart, this triangle is an area of tension, and in order to have, like a good positive flow of energy into this area, you need to work out the tension between these 3 points. And so between the 10th house, the 1st house, and the 7th house, which has to do with relationships, your external self, and your career, there's an area of tension between those three areas. And it seems like home and family is actually getting the short end of the stick with you guys right now. Which is interesting because the moon is transiting right on the cusp of the 4th house right now. And this is nobody's personal chart. This is just like the chart of the moment. So I don't know why. I just feel like this is going to be relevant to you guys. Yeah, so it's very possible that you might be neglecting your family. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles, I felt like picking that up. So the Knight of Pentacles is really slow moving, but very focused on career. And it's kind of like, are you putting your energy towards your career, but at the, so slowly that it's like you're taking your energy away from where it matters most, but you're not really making much progress where you are putting your energy. Then we have Mars retrograde conjunct with the South Node, and it's in the 7th house. And this chart is going to change, but just in the moment, I feel like it's relevant to you guys. Man, it's hard to explain astrology because I can just babble forever and people will not get what I'm saying, and so I apologize if you don't. In a natal chart, the wheel will spin like this, and this will change every 2 hours. So somebody with rising sign, let's say they were born at 5 p.m. and they were Leo rising. They're born at 7 p.m. They are likely a Virgo rising, not a Leo rising, but their sun is going to be the same, if that makes any more sense. But I'll try and restrict the astrology talk as much as I can. Yeah, but with the South Node in the 7th house and the North Node in the 1st house, the North Node is where we need to learn to focus our energy in the moment. And this is more focusing your energy on yourself You know, that's what you need to learn to do. But it's like this energy that you've been carrying with you, you know, habitually is just focus on your partner, your spouse, you know, your business partnerships. And with Mars retrograde conjunct with the South Node, it's kind of like all your ambition is turned inward and it's all focused on somebody else. So I felt like that's important to say. Also, we have Mercury retrograde coming up. I want to say July 26th. I could be wrong on that date, but you guys are ruled by Mercury, so that's something you definitely want to keep an eye out for. I'm a Virgo rising, and Mercury retrograde gets me too. I also noticed Mercury is currently in Leo, and it was at 21 degrees Leo. So 2 and 1 make 3. 3 is a number for creativity. Also, you know, being childlike and creative and just, fun, stuff like that. But I think that your thought patterns and your mental process right now is very focused towards creativity. You could be expressing yourself in a very creative way, but in a very, you know, it's not internal. You're very external with it. It's Leo. You know, it's the sign where you want to be in the spotlight and you want everyone to hear you. So I think that's something to keep in mind. All right, so the energy we have going into your reading is the burden. Always a fun card, right? So there's some, this is a weird card, right? You look at it and it's like, first of all, what's up with this woman's gloves is the real question. But like, why is there a rooster on her head? And also, why is she like, he, it looks like, it doesn't matter, but it looks like, you know, they're riding this poor person who is exhausted. And, you know, it's like, I don't know, I'm just picturing this like psycho woman with this, really, I don't know, maybe they have like a very extravagant pet. And it just feels like they're completely draining you. And it's really, really, you know, burdening you. Yeah. You know, I wasn't gonna pull, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, but it's something that's just weighing really heavy on you. And it's like, you know, if you look at the people in that card, they're climbing up a mountain. And, you know, who the hell wouldn't be exhausted, right? Like, you're climbing up a mountain and, you know, no, I don't think so. And the last thing that you need while climbing up a mountain is, you know, this crazy person with, like, a rooster on her head on top of you. So it looks like the weight of somebody else is something that you're going to have to drop. Okay, you know what? This wanted to come out twice, so we're going to take it. Okay. Let's see. Interesting. Cool. All right, so the bottom of this deck is flowering. And the bottom of this deck is the world in reverse. So some very important life cycle that you have been going through for a while. You know, this is not the quick life cycle. This is a big one. You are growing and transforming in a way where you feel like this cycle should be done by now, right? You're like, okay, I'm at the end. I've learned it. I'm done. Enough. It's not quite done just yet. Yeah, and you know, the world in reverse, it's something is blocking it. So, and you know, with the King of Swords wanting to pop out in the reverse, This could represent air, and it does represent air energy, and it represents air energy that might be too cutting, too manipulative, too controlling. If that is you, or if that's another air sign in your life, you know, this person, you could be, or a certain mindset could be stopping this cycle from coming to a close and you fully transforming into this new level of being that you need to get to. And you will, but gotta nix that first. So in the past, we have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Devil in reverse, Two of Wands in reverse, and Justice in reverse. The Two of Wands actually came out with Justice in reverse. So in the past, you were negatively tied to something. And you were negatively tied to something, someone, for very little. You know, it's like sometimes we can, let's say you get tied to, you know, a job that is just sucking the life out of you, but there's a huge salary. But this is like you were tied to someone or something where there really wasn't much payoff, but you didn't have a choice. It wasn't a fair situation, and, you know, it was stopping you from looking into the future at all. Yeah, and in the current energy, we have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, which, remember, that popped out before. We have the Eight of Cups in the upright. And we have the Five of Swords in reverse. So, the Knight of Pentacles is all about, Pentacles is grounded, it's, you know, money, it's stability, and it's movement towards it, but the Knight of Pentacles is like the slowest moving knight ever. When he gets there, he will have gotten there, you know, it's like, you know, like when he gets there, his horse is going to be muscular. It's going to be built, like, you know, they will feel good about their journey, like, it's stable. Meanwhile, like, someone like the Knight of Swords, like, his horse is probably, like, skin and bones because it was running the whole time, and it's exhausted, and he's probably exhausted, and they haven't eaten for days. But it's like the Knight of Pentacles, when they get there, they're like, oh, we've slept, and we've eaten, and we're good. But the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse is like, I don't know, like a horse with a broken leg, basically. It's like, you know, you're just not moving. So this movement, I feel like you kind of had to pause the journey that you were on, because you are walking away from something. Maybe it's possible that you're deciding to drop the journey altogether and just be like, I don't think that's right for me, actually. It may have been someone that you felt, you know, backstabbed by, betrayed by, just really hurt. And, you know, if you look at the girl in this, she holds herself in a way that's just like, I mean, nobody who's, no, that's not true. You know, you can be backstabbed and, like, know damn well, like, okay, yeah, you know, I deserve that. But this girl, it's just like, you know, genuine heartbreak, feeling the pain in her back, and just like, how could that actually happen? And because of that betrayal, or feeling of betrayal, and I do feel like it's in the past because it's in the reverse, just deciding to, you know, be like, hey, horse, let's go home. I don't want to do this. And he's just like, all right, cool. And you're turning around. And here's the thing. There's running away from what we want. There's quitting before you should. And then there's having the strength and courage to leave a situation even right when it's on the cusp of no longer serving you. And I think that takes more guts. Because some people will keep holding on and hoping, like, no, it'll work out. And it doesn't always. And there's nothing worse than wasted time, right? And I think because of that, in the future, you have the Wheel of Fortune. You have the Seven of Swords in the reverse. And you have Temperance in the upright. So you have events, karmic events, going in your favor. You are putting behind energy that was somehow underhanded or sneaky. Kind of where everybody's just out for themselves in some way. Nobody really cares about anybody else who's involved. It's just like, what do I need? What do I need to do to get it? And because you're separating yourself from that, you finally have this feeling of balance, tranquility. You can just relax. And there's butterflies in this card, right? Butterflies are a symbol of transformation, rebirth. You think of the caterpillar and the chrysalis. These butterflies are already out. They've done the caterpillar phase. You know, I'm sure if they had the chance to write a Yelp review, they wouldn't be like, oh yeah, go do this. They'd be like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not going to do it again. Right? And now they're enjoying life as a butterfly. And I'm sure having wings is much better than, like, you know, scooching along and potentially getting eaten by birds. I don't know. That's what I thought of when I thought of caterpillars. And the energy that you have moving out of the reading is new vision. So, interesting. So if you look in this card, you can see this triangle, right? And it looks exactly like the T-square that I was talking about at the beginning of the reading. Looks exactly like the T-square I was talking about in the beginning of the reading. And sorry. And I think with the burden that you're facing going into the reading, you're able to look at the situation where you're not giving enough attention to home and family, your mother maybe, you know, all that stuff, and you're able to look at it from a new perspective and see with new vision, new eyes, find a way, now that you're balanced, or will be soon, you're able to, you know, cut through all those areas differently and allot attention in a better way. Yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys. Thank you for being here with me, and I hope to see you back here next month. If you haven't already liked or subscribed to the channel and liked the video, please do it for my cat. And also for me, but mostly for him. Right, Carl? Hey. See, if I was showering on YouTube, I would get in trouble, but like, he's cool. Anyway, have a good one, guys. See you later. Bye.